The whispering legend echoes from the north. Ragnar, a name whispered on the biting winds, carried across the vast stormy seas. It speaks of Viking longships, their dragon prows slicing through black, unforgiving water. Oars rise and fall, rhythmically, tirelessly. The air is thick with the scent of salt, of pine tar, and the metallic tang of blood soon to be spilled. This is the world that birthed the legend, a world of harsh beauty and sudden death, a world ready for a hero or a demon. Was he a true man, fashioned from flesh and from bone, or is he a phantom? A story spun by skalds, their voices raspy in the flickering firelight. Tales told in crowded mead halls, halls filled with the clamour of warriors, and the ghosts of their fallen comrades. Ragnar Lothbrok, a hero crafted for an age that demanded heroes, an age of iron and of will. This question, it lingers, it haunts the corridors of time. Even now, we seek answers. The ancient sagas, they sing his name, Lothbrok, Shaggy Breeches. They recount his unmatched courage, his sharp, cunning mind, his burning, insatiable ambition. Here was a man who dared to stand against kings, who challenged the very gods themselves, a legend. The Norse sagas, they paint a vivid, brutal portrait of a young Ragnar, hungry for renown, burning for adventure. His first legendary feat, the slaying of a monstrous serpent, a lindworm, guarding a treasure, or a princess, Thorborga, daughter of a jarl, her hand in marriage, the prize for his valour, a hero's beginning, steeped in mythic power. He sought to prove himself early. He fashioned strange garments, breeches made of shaggy animal hide, coated in thick black tar, to shield him from the serpent's burning venom, from its crushing coils. This peculiar attire, it earned him his famous name, Lothbrok, Shaggy Breeches, the name that would soon be whispered, with awe and with dread, across the northern lands and beyond. A name that became a banner for his followers, Ragnar, the Dragon Slayer. Ragnar's life, his destiny, it was inextricably intertwined with women of formidable strength and spirit. Thorborga, his first love, won through an act of legendary courage by slaying the great serpent. But their time together, it was fleeting, lost too soon to sickness, her death. It cast a long shadow upon his young heart, a wound, the sagas say, that never truly found its healing, leaving a scar. Then came a Slaug, also known as Cracker, a figure of mystery and immense power, said to be the daughter of Sigurd the Dragon Slayer and Brynhilda the Valkyrie, a lineage of legends. She was a shield maiden, fierce in battle and sharp of wit. She bore Ragnar many sons, sons who would grow to become warriors, kings in their own right, sons who would carve their own brutal names into the annals of history, using fire and tempered steel, Aslog. She was more than a wife. More than the mother of his children, she was a queen, possessing a keen intellect and a cunning mind. We search for him diligently, in the faded ink of ancient annals, in the chronicles penned by monks, scribes who often wrote with trembling hands, their words filled with fear and with righteous hatred. For the Northmen, the Vikings, who descended from the icy seas like a devastating plague, bringing fire and ruin to the shores of Christendom, their accounts are biased, necessarily. Was there truly a Ragnar, a single dominant Viking king who matched the saga's hero, the historical records? They are frustratingly fragmented, confusing. Names surface like driftwood on a hostile shore, Viking leaders raiding the coasts of Francia, pillaging the monasteries of England, terrorizing the shores of Ireland. But is any one of these figures truly our Ragnar Lothbrok, the one whose fame echoes so loudly from the sagas? Some scholars, they point towards a figure named Ragnar, a Danish Viking chieftain, he who dared to sail up the Seine, he who sacked Paris in the year 845, a bold, audacious raid. Section 5, Shadows of Kings, contenders for Lothbrok's mantle. Other contenders. They emerged slowly from the deep shadows of the past. Horik I, a powerful Danish king who reigned in the early to mid-9th century. He was a significant ruler, ambitious, wily. He engaged in complex politics and warfare with the Frankish emperors. He controlled a substantial kingdom. Could Ragnar be a composite figure? a legendary hero woven from the deeds and characteristics of several such powerful men. It is a strong possibility. Or perhaps we should look to a king named Ragnar, whose name appears in the Irish annals, a formidable Viking sea king, active and feared in the turbulent waters of the Irish Sea during that same era. His exploits, his daring raids, they carried distinct echoes of Ragnar's legendary adventures. His sphere of influence spanned across the waves. A true lord of the waters, a master of the longship. His story, too, has power. The great difficulty lies in the timing. The sagas that detail Ragnar's life were written down very late, many centuries after the events they supposedly describe, in the 12th and 13th centuries. Memories fade over such vast gulfs of time. Oral traditions, they are like living things. They shift, they evolve, they grow, like sand dunes sculpted by the relentless wind. What was once historical fact? What became embellished story? The line blurs. It is entirely possible, perhaps even probable, that Ragnar Lothbrok, as the singular, towering historical king depicted so vividly in the sagas, never truly existed in that exact form. But the of him, the archetype, the quintessential Viking warrior, the explorer, the rebel, that powerful concept is undeniable. It is a potent reflection of an entire age, an age of upheaval and transformation. He represents something vital. Section 6. A hero reimagined, Ragnar on the screen. Then came the modern age, the age of the flickering screen, television, a new kind of saga for a new global audience, and Ragnar. He was reborn, reimagined. For millions of eager viewers, he was given a face, a voice, a complex inner life. Travis Fimmel. He became Ragnar, a man of profound doubts and soaring dreams, a simple farmer who, through ambition and vision, became an earl and then a king. His journey was epic. This televised Ragnar, he was not a simple brute. He questioned the old gods. He yearned for knowledge, for understanding of other cultures, other faiths. He looked west, across the endless ocean, and dreamed of new lands, new beginnings. He was portrayed as complex, deeply flawed, achingly human. Not just a bloodthirsty raider from the dark north, but a visionary, a devoted father, a conflicted husband, a relentless seeker of truth and destiny. The television series. Section 7. The Blood of the Father, Bjorn Ironside's legacy. Ragnar's sons. They cast immense long shadows across the landscape of history. Their names, they are etched in blood and in enduring legend. Bjorn Ironside, often named as the first among them. In prowess and in fame, a great explorer, much like his father, a fearsome warrior, unmatched in battle, like Ragnar. He yearned for more than what he had. He looked beyond the horizon, for new worlds to conquer. He achieved a feat, almost unheard of, for a Northman of his time. He sailed his longships into the Mediterranean Sea, a vast, unknown expanse. He raided the coasts of Francia, Spain and Italy. He even attacked the city of Luna, mistaking its gleaming walls for the legendary city of Rome, a grand ambition, a near miss, but a testament to the incredible daring of the Vikings, to their relentless, unyielding drive to explore, to conquer. Bjorn, he did not just raid, he also ruled. Section 8. Ivar's Vengeance, the Great Heathen Army. Ivar the Boneless, another of Ragnar's famous sons, perhaps the most enigmatic and the most terrifying, carried into battle on a shield due to a mysterious affliction that weakened his legs, but his mind, his intellect. That was his deadliest weapon. He was a brilliant strategist, a ruthless, cruel commander, his very name. It was enough to inspire profound fear across the kingdoms of England and beyond, a true force of nature. The sagas, they tell a grim tale of Ragnar's final days, his capture by King Aella of Northumbria, his defiant death, thrown into a pit filled with venomous snakes. How the little pigs would grunt, Ragnar is said to have proclaimed, as the serpents bit. If they knew how the old boar suffers. These were his defiant last words, a chilling prophecy, a solemn promise of terrible vengeance to come from his sons and the sons. They heard their father's dying cry across the sea. They answered the great heathen army. It descended upon England In the year 865, a vast invading force led, according to legend, by Ivar the Boneless and his brothers, Halfdan, Ubba, Sigurd Snake in the Eye. Section 9, the enduring echo, why Ragnar still roars. So, Ragnar Lothbrok, was he a man of flesh and blood, or a magnificent myth, forged in the fires of imagination? Perhaps in the end, it does not truly matter which parts are fact, which are fiction. The lines between them, they are irrevocably blurred, lost in the mists of time. What truly matters is the undeniable power of his story. The resonant echo that still reverberates through the long corridors of centuries, reaching us even now. He embodies the untamed Viking spirit, the relentless explorer, the ferocious warrior, the bold challenger of fate and gods, the insatiable seeker of glory and knowledge. He stands as a potent symbol of boundless ambition, of unyielding courage in the face of the vast unknown, of the wild, untamed and often brutal spirit of the North. He is an archetype that speaks to something deep within us, a primal urge in our modern, often predictable world. We find ourselves craving such figures, characters who are larger than life, who dare to shatter boundaries, who bravely sail their ships into uncharted, dangerous waters, both literal and metaphorical.